Good evening, Belize. It's Friday and you're watching News 5. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us. Here's what's making headlines tonight. Gunfire erupts on Amandala Drive this evening. Police recover 13 expended shells from a property once owned by the late Carlos Diaz. In San Pedro, a deadly ambush leaves one man dead and another wounded. Who wanted Alfredo Trapp and Gabriel Salazar dead and why? Plus, the High Court throws out a case against the Elections and Boundaries Commission, calling it an abuse of process. In the north, Agriculture Minister Jose Mai sounds the alarm on the struggling sugar industry and what it means for cane farmers. And in Gales Point, a dog incident spirals into a heated neighborhood feud. We've got those stories and more coming up after this short break. Stay with us. News 5 starts now.
Hey fans, it's basketball time again. This time, big brother meets small brother. Oberman versus the India Warrior. We got dream ballers coming to the Shark Cage to meet the hungry Tiger Sharks. This one, I don't want to miss. It's all going down inside the Belize Civic Center this Friday, July 4th. Gates open at 7 p.m. and game starts at 9 p.m. Bring out the entire family in the BPBL. The San Pedro Tiger Sharks face off. We got dream ballers inside the Belize Civic Center. Doors open at 7 p.m. and game starts at 9 p.m. After party at Shishad. Sponsors include.
You don't know what the hottest league. You can see it.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Welcome back. Tensions are high tonight in Belize City after yet another broad daylight shooting, this time at the corner of Amandala Drive and Vernon Street. Just after 4 o'clock, a gunman on a bicycle rolled up to a property once owned by the late Carlos Diaz and opened fire. A young man believed to be from the Vernon Street area was in the yard when the bullet started flying. He was hit multiple times and collapsed on the grass inside the property. Eyewitnesses say he was rushed to the KHMH in the back of a pickup truck, fighting for his life. Over a dozen expended shells were found scattered on the sidewalk. Police haven't received or released a motive or the victim's name as yet, but we'll keep following this story as more details come in. Tonight, police are trying to piece together the motive behind a bold and deadly shooting that's left one man dead and another in the hospital. It happened just a block away from home for 28-year-old Alfredo Trapp and 38-year-old Gabriel Villafranco Salazar, two men police say are no strangers to trouble. The pair were ambushed by two gunmen on a motorcycle in what appears to be a targeted attack. Trapp didn't survive the hail of bullets, while Salazar is now recovering and may hold the key to what really happened. Both men have been linked to past murder investigations on the island, raising the question, was this shooting a message or a case of past deeds catching up with them? News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
A tragic night unfolded in the San Mateo area of Ambergris on Thursday. What started as a peaceful day of lobster fishing ended in gunfire and loss. Around 9 p.m., 28-year-old Alfredo Trapp and 38-year-old Gabriel Villafranco Salazar were just a block away from home riding in a black golf cart down an unnamed street. That's when two men on a motorcycle pulled up and opened fire. The scene was chilling, blood stained the street, a grim reminder of the violence that erupted so suddenly. Trapp didn't survive the attack. Salazar, though injured, made it out alive. Tonight the community is left shaken and police are working to uncover what led to this deadly ambush.
At approximately 9:10 p.m. on Thursday, 3rd July 2025, police responded to reports of shots being fired in the San Mateo area of San Pedro. Officers were dispatched to the scene of the incident as well as to the San Pedro Polyclinic. At the San Pedro Polyclinic, police encountered two men, namely Alberto Trapp and Gabriel Villafranco, both of whom were observed to be suffering from two gunshot wounds to the upper part of their bodies. Both men underwent treatment, however, Trapp succumbed to the injuries sustained and Villafranco is listed to be in a stable condition. What the police has been able to ascertain so far is that both men were traveling in a golf cart in the San Mateo area when they were accosted by two male persons who fired shots, injuring them.
The black golf cart Alfredo Trapp and Gabriel Salazar were riding in tells a chilling story. Bullet holes pierced the windshield and blood stains marked the seats. At the scene, police recovered 8 expended shells, clear signs of the violence that unfolded. That golf cart is now parked at the San Pedro police station, impounded as part of the ongoing investigation. News 5 also spoke with the mother of Trapp's only daughter. She acknowledged his troubled past, but shared that he had been working hard to turn his life around.
When I meet Alfredo not me a problem person. Alfredo was a person that me always in and out of jail. And when he meet me, well, I'm a different. I'm a hard-working person. So he promised me a change in life, and he me stay out of trouble for like 5-6 years. We broke up, and he never in a problem. We broke up last year, and I tell her, not forget that you need to live for your daughter because our daughter that I just feel and sign a different and she was positive blood just like he. And I tell her, not forget the baby will always need your blood. I tell her like that. And he said, yes, babe, I want to live for my daughter. So all of this just hit like, I don't know.
Alfredo Trapp, who was killed, and Gabriel Villafranco Salazar, who survived, both had long histories with the law. Police records show Salazar has been accused of murder at least 4 times, and Trapp wasn't far from controversy either. In late 2023, police issued a wanted poster for him in connection with the murder of 23-year-old American nursing student Jabria Bowens, who was gunned down in front of Jaguars nightclub.
While both Villafranco and Trapp are known to the police, no clear motive has been established in this ongoing investigation.
From what the police know so far, were these persons the targets of the shooters?
It would want to appear so on the facts that we have so far.
No, there are a number of rivalries out there. Do you all know any motives?
No motive has been established. However, for the past few weeks, I know there has been intensive operations in that area that have led to the recovery of weapons and drugs, and police continues to monitor the situation in that area.
There's been a shake-up in leadership on Hamburger's Key, with a new officer now in charge of the San Pedro police formation. But with that change comes a big question: were criminals quick to take advantage of the transition? It's a theory that's gaining traction, especially in the wake of Thursday night's deadly shooting.
Well, we know criminals will strike at any given time. They don't need a change of command to take out actions that they believe meet whatever needs that they have. But what I can say is that the operations that have been conducted by the new officer in command has yielded a great level of success, and we anticipate that to continue.
Gabriel Villafranco Salazar was transported to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, where he is listed in a stable condition. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul.
A community already shaken by tragedy is now gripped by frustration. Now police are on high alert after a man charged with the cold-blooded murder of 21-year-old Travis Swift has escaped custody. It was just weeks ago that a quiet night in Camelota village turned into a nightmare. Travis had just returned from a quick store run when gunfire erupted right inside his mother's bedroom. Nearly 30 shell casings were found at the scene, the walls riddled with bullets, the windows shattered. His mother, Rosita Orellana, described it as something out of a war zone. Heartbreakingly, Travis is the second son she's lost to gun violence in just 7 years. 2 men were charged, Michael Middleton and Kyle Roberts, but now Middleton is on the run. Police are pleading with the public for help. Assistant Superintendent Stacey Smith has more on this alarming development.
Today, 4th July 2025, police formally arrested and charged 2 men in connection with the murder of Travis Darnell Swift, which occurred on 13th June 2025. 28-year-old Michael Milton, a Belizean construction worker, and 23-year-old Kyle Roberts, a Belizean truck driver, both of Roaring Creek Village, Coyote District, have been jointly charged for the crime of murder. Regrettably, subsequent to Milton's arrest, he escaped from lawful custody and as such is wanted by police. Milton is medium built. He stands at approximately 5 feet 8 inches in height and is brown in complexion. The department anticipates that it will be able to apprehend Milton in due course, but it takes the opportunity to remind the general public that it is an offense to knowingly harbor, conceal, or assist in the harboring or the concealing of a wanted person, and that offense is punishable with up to 5 years imprisonment.
Earlier today, a convicted killer learned his fate just 1 day before his 31st birthday. Kyle Aswan Zetina has been sentenced to 3 life terms for a brutal triple murder that shocked the nation back in 2019. Among the victims, Excelsior High School's beloved vice principal, Alaris Andrewin, along with her 2 friends, Vidal Yuman and 19-year-old Maria Lucas, a Guatemala national. The crime took place inside Andrewin's home at mile 10.5 on the George Price Highway. Despite being found guilty, Zetina maintained his innocence during sentencing, telling the court, "I'm sorry for the deaths, but I didn't do it." Still, the judge handed down 3 life sentences with no chance of parole for at least 37 years. Coming up, High Court tosses out electoral boundaries challenge. More when we return. And Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
It's finally here. KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds, this is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
Quality Poultry Products is celebrating its 50th anniversary with a motorcade through the principal streets of San Ignacio on July 5th starting at 10 a.m. Bring out the family and wave at our motorcade. There will be free goodies, promotional giveaways, and great music all along the route. We move off from our San Ignacio branch, turning onto Joseph Andrew Drive, down Benque Viejo Road, exiting the roundabout onto George Price Highway. Then right onto Ramirez Drive, right at Crenshaw Street, left at Park Street, right at Collins Boulevard, right onto Bullet Tree Road, turning onto Burns Avenue, crossing over the Hawksworth Bridge, next onto George Price Highway, the roundabout, exit at La Loma Luz Boulevard, making our return back to our San Ignacio branch. So, bring out your family and join the celebration. Quality Poultry Products, celebrating 50 years of serving Belize.
Coming up, get ready because it's crop over time. A friendship contribution to children with cancer, making a difference for those with special needs. African culture expressed through fashion, and another reward for a job well done. It's all next on this station.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
The High Court has dismissed a constitutional challenge against Belize's Elections and Boundaries Commission, EBC, calling it an improper attempt to reopen a case that was already settled. Rudy Lewinsky-Wade and 6 others argued that the country's current electoral boundaries violate the Constitution by failing to ensure equal representation. But Justice Honduras ruled that the group was simply rehashing arguments from a 2019 lawsuit that had already been resolved through a consent order in 2022. That agreement had required the EBC to review and propose challenges to the electoral map. When the claimants later returned to court alleging non-compliance, the judge said their actions amounted to an abuse of process. Even though Wade wasn't part of the original case, the court found he had a privity of interest and was still bound by the previous outcome. Justice Honduras struck out the case, emphasizing that legal disputes must come to an end and cannot be endlessly revived. Both sides have until July 31st to settle the issue of legal costs. The Minister of Agriculture is stirring the pot, this time over sugar. Jose Abelardo May says Belize's cane farmers have been quietly footing the bill for years, selling sugar below the cost of production. He claims that while the public enjoys sweet prices at the store, farmers are taking a bitter hit. And while some may laugh at the idea, Minister May isn't joking. He says it's simply unfair, and with rising production costs and growing health concerns around sugar consumption, he's hinting that a price adjustment may be on the horizon. But don't panic. He insists it won't break the bank. In fact, he argues it might be even a good time for Belizeans to cut back on sugar altogether.
The cane farmers have subsidized the Belizean public with sugar.
People have laughed when you said that.
Oh, yes, and they laugh because it is true. I mean, why, if it cost me 75 cents to produce a pound of sugar, why would I sell it for 73? It is unfair. It is unfair to the cane farmers, and we've lived with that price for so many years. It was cheaper than that before. It was at 50 cents, I think, right? So who would produce and sell something cheaper than what it cost them to produce, right?
One of the things that I pointed out was that we only sell, 15,000 tons, plantation white and brown, on the local market. Like, how much of revenue will an increase be for that tonnage?
I have those figures, but I'm not prepared to share them yet until I go over them again. But if you look at the per capita consumption of sugar, it's not a lot, you know. So if I think it's like 50 pounds, 56 pounds per person per year, times 75 cents, that's what it costs. So if you increase by 25 cents or 50 cents, that will not impoverish everybody. One. So it's not like you will spend thousands of dollars more on sugar. One. And two, we should consume less sugar as a country. We have obesity, we have hypertension, we have diabetes, we have a lot of these cases in Belize. So we should consume less sugar, right? And so I believe that it is not something that will impoverish a nation. It's not that.
Molasses might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of national debates, but it's now at the center of a growing conversation in Belize. Agriculture Minister Jose Abelardo May says local farmers want to raise the price of molasses sold to rum producers, arguing that the current low cost fuels the production of cheap rum, something even cabinet members have linked to social issues in urban areas. But rum makers are raising objections, warning that a price hike could push them out of the market. So here's the question. Should the focus be on protecting local industry or addressing the broader impact of cheap alcohol? It's a sticky situation, pun intended, and one that's sparking real debate.
We export molasses to the U.S. There are essentially two buyers of molasses in the world. Both of them are in the U.S. But we are talking about molasses that is sold in Belize locally to the rum makers. And there are only like at least 3 or 4, maybe half a dozen rum makers that buy molasses to make rum. You know the companies that sell rum, right? Over and over again you hear cabinet members saying, well, this rum destroy families in the cities because it is cheap. It's so cheap. It is cheap because molasses sold locally is cheap, right? So the farmers are saying on the sea molasses, increase the price by 1.5 times. Yeah, right. And then the B molasses, you increase by 2 times the price. Those molasses are used to make rum, right? And so, if you think rum is a good thing, then you have to pay for it, right? But that's what the farmers are asking in their joint release that they issued.
The producers of these liquors are saying that an increase may push them out of the market completely.
Look, have you? I won't get into that because I won't get into any argument or debate with the rum makers. But some of the rum makers in the country are some of the wealthiest people. That's all I would say.
Burning cane fields has long been part of Belize's sugar industry, but is it time to put out the flames for good? Agriculture Minister Jose Abelardo Mai says yes, and he's pointing to a future where burning is replaced by machines. While regulations already exist, Mai admits they're not enforced. And with fewer people willing to take on the grueling work of cutting cane by hand, the shift towards mechanized harvesting is not just necessary, it's inevitable. But here's the bigger question. Can Belize modernize its sugar industry while also turning environmental challenges into economic opportunities, like carbon credits? The answer, it seems, lies in how quickly the country can adapt.
There is a regulation, for burning. You should get a permit to burn and so on. But it's not enforced. It's not enforced. We need to, in the near future, move away from burning cane fields. But that will only happen when we start to mechanize the cane fields. Right now, this year, we found it difficult to find cane cutters. And clearly, you have to understand why. Cutting cane is an enslaving job. It's almost inhumane, right? And so people don't want to cut cane anymore because they have a job to do somewhere else, right? And we are now, you are seeing farmers now are buying their combined harvesters. They're starting to invest in combined harvesters. And the government supports that because we need to get the cane harvested. When you have 100% cane harvested mechanically, there's no need to burn. There's no need to burn. Right? You can convert that, like I said before, to biochar and collect carbon credits, sell it as carbon credits. So this again is something that needs to be done in the near future.
When it comes to sugarcane, timing is everything. Agriculture Minister Jose Abelardo Mai is shedding light on a key issue affecting the quality of Belize's sugar crop, what's known in the industry as kill to mill. That's the time between burning the cane and delivering it to the mill, and the longer it takes, the more the quality drops. But that's not the only factor. How the cane is cut, whether it's mature, and even how much mud ends up in the load all play a role. Now farmers are calling for change, not just in how the cane is harvested, but how they're paid. They want individual payments based on quality, not group averages. So could new legislation and better practices be the key to sweeter results for everyone involved?
Well, I've heard of, there's so many things that lead to a poor quality sugarcane, right? Kill to mill, that's what they call it. Right? From the time you burn the cane to the time you deliver it, the longer that period extends, the lower the quality is affected, right? To kill to mill. So that affects, the way you cut cane affects. You can take mud into the cane field. If you harvest cane that's not mature, it again affects the quality. So there are many things that affect quality.
But you'd want to legislate that, like when they harvest and so?
I think it can be, I'm not saying it should not be, but it could be controlled. It could be controlled.
The farmers are asking for a change in the payment. Right now it's being done by group. They want it to be done individually. Do you favor that?
I think they're referring to core sampling. Right now, the farmers get paid per quality, but by group. So if my group, say San Lazaro branch, which is C15, I think we got the price paid that was a little bit above some of the others because the quality was better, something like that. So it is payment by quality, but per group.
After the break, Sargassum crisis hits businesses and marine life in San Pedro. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Survey.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is to see if the features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer with these online that Belize Bank offered is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Veracidad, imparcialidad.
Este es el término utilizado.
Hemos estado haciendo el trabajo como organización.
Y tus noticias en español.
Están en aguas beliceñas, entonces esta bandera se queda aquí.
Sintoniza Canal 5 cada viernes a las 7 de la noche.
Tenemos que resolver los grandes problemas de este país.
Su voz importa, su acción cuenta.
Transfusión sanguínea, elementos que indican un deterioro evidente del estado de salud.
Somos Noticiero 5 semanal.
Perdió la vida en un heroico intento de proteger a su hermano. El Tribunal de Magistrados de la ciudad de Belice se paralizó. La policía está investigando 2 asesinatos separados.
Tu fuente de información.
You pay the bill?
Ma, I got the wallet.
So you could pay the bill now?
Yeah, I can show you.
Ah.
See? Easy.
It's finally here. KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the Newcastle challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds, this is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
RF&G encourages you to activate your emergency disaster plan to ensure safety and coverage for your vessel. We advise you to move your boat to higher grounds. If your vessel gets submerged, do not attempt to start after retrieval. Contact the claim department at 0800 RFG Help, or you can file a claim via WhatsApp at 670-8700. Then, immediately contact your marine mechanic to assess the damages sustained. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance.
It's piling up fast and it's not going away. San Pedro is now under a Sargassum emergency. The town council says they're fighting a losing battle, only managing to clear a fraction of the seaweed before it comes right back. With limited resources and mounting pressure from frustrated businesses and residents, the call is out for everyone to pitch in. The stench is strong, the beaches are brown, and marine life is dying. So what's the way forward? News 5's Paul Lopez went to the island to find out more. Here's his report.
It's a seaweed invasion and it's getting worse by the day. Ambergris Caye is now under a Sargassum emergency as thick mats of the brown algae continue to blanket the island's once pristine shores. Crews with shovels and wheelbarrows are working around the clock, but the seaweed just keeps coming. The stench is overwhelming, the beaches are buried, and coastal businesses, especially those over the water, are feeling the heat as guests complain about the view and the smell.
It affects the business as a whole. We have a lot of different people coming in every day, and one of the most important things for us is our beachfront view, especially our ocean view. And without that ocean view, if you guys walk all the way to the end of the dock, you don't even really see the ocean because everything is covered with that nasty seagrass. And it kind of, for sure, it affects us as a business, whereby we have a lot of people avoiding to even come close to the beach side because of the simple fact of the smell being too strong, and it's just unbearable.
A normal day on the beach in San Pedro looks like sitting down, enjoying the sun and the view. But that's not the case today because Sargassum has overtaken the beach here in San Pedro town for miles and miles and miles. As thick layers of Sargassum continue to blanket the shores of Ambergris Caye, local businesses like Wayos are doing their best to stay afloat. Despite the challenges, they remain hopeful and determined to weather the storm. But it's not just the tourism industry feeling the impact. The dense toxic seaweed is also choking marine life, making it nearly impossible for anything beneath the surface to survive. With both livelihoods and ecosystems at risk, the call for urgent solutions is growing louder.
All around here in the front area of the sea, you will find bonefish, small little snappers and stuff like that, right? So they will usually, the bonefish, they travel, they call them schools, so they travel in a month. So every time I come here and the Sargassum is up, you see a bonefish floating there, another one there. Surprising, even big fish I have seen, like these big jacks. They just float up and they get bloated, and it's like it's destroying anything that is in the front, either grass, fish, crabs, you name it, is dying because they don't have no oxygen. And also the Sargassum, it lets go like a toxic that they cannot survive in the environment.
On the island of Ambergris Caye, the fight against Sargassum feels never ending. Every day a small team made up of local businesses and the San Pedro Town Council work tirelessly to clear the beaches, but the seaweed just keeps coming back. Now with the situation worsening, the mayor's science advisor, Valentin Rosado, is sounding the alarm. He says it's time for an all-hands-on-deck approach. That means more people, more resources, and a united community effort to tackle what's now being called a Sargassum emergency.
If we get people to come in and assist near their homes or just volunteers, all we need to do is take it out of the water. Even if we don't have the ability to take it somewhere else, once it's high up on the beach and it dries, then it doesn't smell, right? That is the priority, and that is what we're asking people to assist with. Because right now, the council is moving 136 tons of Sargassum a week.
Residents and business owners all agree that solving the Sargassum crisis cannot be a task for the council alone. It requires all hands on deck.
We are tackling the problem when it drifts to our shoreline, right? And how effective we are and how effective we can be, it depends who you talk to, but it's difficult given the amount we have. It's very difficult. Even here, we need to have a collective approach.
Yeah.
You know, and even.
Do you think that if businesses and community members come together, put their resources together, that they can make a dent in this?
Of course. It's required given the extent of the problem. I think that is what we really need.
I mean, we could all volunteer to help out a little bit, or if not, volunteer some money to help put up for this, because it does. It affects everybody in the neighborhood. It affects everybody on the island.
It just won't stop. Day after day, the sargassum keeps rolling in. And despite constant cleanup efforts, the beaches of Ambergris Caye are still buried under the brown tide. The smell, overwhelming. The view, far from paradise. Locals and tourists alike are trying to go about their day. But the truth is, if this keeps up, the entire island's tourism industry could take a serious hit. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Belize is putting the spotlight on cooperatives and their power to drive real change. Today, the country marked the International Day of Cooperatives with a national forum in Belize City, bringing together leaders and policymakers and change makers. The event kicked off with opening remarks from Registrar of Cooperatives Gareth Murillo, setting the tone for a day focused on innovation, inclusion, and economic resilience. Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo Mai, delivered the keynote emphasizing how cooperatives are helping to build stronger rural communities and a more sustainable future. News 5's Tanya Arceo was there and brings us the story.
When you think of cooperatives in Belize, agriculture might come to mind, and you'd be right. But there's a lot more to the story. We caught up with Gareth Murillo, the Registrar of Cooperatives, who gave us a snapshot of the movement across the country from sugarcane and livestock to women-led processing groups. Belize is home to 69 registered cooperatives, most of them rooted in farming. But that's not all. Transportation, hospitality, and especially the fishing sector are also thriving under the cooperative model.
I would argue that compared to our population, our number of cooperatives and the number of cooperative members are relatively small. Part of the aim of our activity here is to improve on that publicity so that we are able to attract more inclusion from other sectors of the population. If I may say this, the majority of our cooperative members are what you would call grassroots persons. The cooperative model allows people to, who may not necessarily be able to do so on their own, to become a part of a business, to be a part owner, to be a collective owner, and in that way they are able to share their resources, they are able to share their capacities, and to try and build a business together.
And in a sweet twist to our coverage, quite literally, we also caught up with a couple of hard-working members from a local cooperative. They proudly showcased a variety of products they're crafting, with a special spotlight on their high-quality honey. But it's more than just delicious, it's a lifeline. These products are helping sustain their families and fuel their local economy, proving that when communities come together, everyone thrives.
Today we're presenting some natural soaps, which is good for your skin. We have the honey also that is produced by our cooperative, which we are like 7 females working beekeeping, and the rest are males. We are 21 members at the moment, and we work together. And also we have a full contract with BMDC that we renew every year. So the product, if you notice, our honey has BMDC on it because they buy all our honey.
I'm Mariela Ramirez. I'm the chair for the Prosperity Women's Cooperative from Orange Walk. And we have here we have some of our products to present. We usually do byproducts, honey byproducts. We do agro-processings. We do caterings, food sales in Orange Walk. We're located in Orange Walk.
Today's forum was more than just a meeting. It was a powerful reminder of how cooperatives are helping shape stronger, more inclusive communities, from economic empowerment to sustainable development. When people work together, everyone benefits. As the conversation continues, cooperatives, leaders, policymakers, and stakeholders are gearing up to collaborate even more closely to build resilience and unlock new opportunities. Reporting for News 5, I'm Tanya Arceo.
When we return, woman allegedly kills wrong dog after being bitten.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Coming up, get ready because it's crop over time. A friendship contribution to children with cancer, making a difference for those with special needs. African culture expressed through fashion, and another reward for a job well done. It's all next on this station.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Measles is a virus that is highly infectious and spreads through the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. It often starts with a fever, cough, runny nose, and red, watery eyes, followed by a rash that spreads all over the body. Measles can cause serious complications. But here's the good news. Measles is preventable. The safest and most effective way to protect your child is through vaccination. The MMR vaccine is safe and available at your nearest health centers and clinics. Let's keep our families and communities safe. Get vaccinated. Stay protected. Brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness in partnership with PAHO and UNICEF.
Just 1 week after a Gales Point resident went public with a terrifying story of being chased and bitten by a pack of dogs, a new twist has emerged. Crystal Slusher took to social media warning others and pointing fingers at Manatee Lodge owner Nancy Bailey, claiming her dogs were behind the attack. But now Bailey is speaking out, saying the story isn't as clear-cut as it seems. She insists her dog, Steele, wasn't the one who bit Slusher, and in a shocking claim, says he was killed despite being innocent. So what really happened that night? News 5's Brittany Gordon has the latest.
A troubling video has surfaced showing a woman crashing her vehicle through the gates of a private residence. That driver has been identified as 44-year-old Crystal Slusher, the same woman who, just a day earlier, accused the homeowner, Nancy Bailey, of harboring dangerous dogs that she claims attacked her. But Bailey says she only owned one dog and insists it never bit Slusher.
The dog should never have bitten the woman, but she was under the assumption that it was my dog and got very hostile and angry. And I understand that she was upset because she got bitten. But apparently then she jumped in her vehicle with her daughter and started to race down the street. And we're maybe a city block or more away from her house. So she built up a lot of speed. If there were any dogs there, and you can see in the video that there were some puppies that were running through the gate away from her, trying to get away.
The mystery deepens in Gales Point Village. Nancy Bailey, the homeowner at the center of a heated dog attack allegation, says she wasn't even in Belize when it happened. According to her, a neighbor told Crystal Slusher that it was his dog, not hers, that bit her. But what happened next has only added fuel to the fire. Bailey's own dog was later found dead nearby with a broken spine.
Apparently at that time, she saw my Rottweiler, who, if he was hearing barking and commotion, would have definitely gone to go see what was happening. But he's a friendly dog, so he would never run from the car, because anytime if I come home, he runs out to the car and then like brings me back home, and he'll run ahead of the car and look back, like to say, come on, let's go, let's go. So she admitted to the young man and the police, because he went down with the police to apologize and tell her that he would cover her any expenses she had, medical expenses, anything like that. And he felt very bad for what had happened. And then she admitted that she ran over my Rottweiler with her vehicle and knocked him down. And we found him dead in the yard.
Crystal Slusher says the attack wasn't just one bite. It was multiple. She claims she was bitten on her hip, arms, and thigh by a pack of dogs. And according to her, this wasn't a surprise. Slusher says she's been warning Nancy Bailey for years about the dangers these dogs posed and believes Bailey should take some responsibility for what happened.
I just feel sorry, whoever's trying to take the blame, because I don't feel like it should be one person taking the blame. This one guy that's my daughter's cousin is trying to take the blame, and I don't feel like it's all his fault. I feel like Miss Nancy needs to take responsibility for her consequences of what's going on, because they've been irresponsible with these animals for several years.
Nancy Bailey, the homeowner accused of harboring dangerous dogs, says the claims made by Crystal Slusher are not only damaging her reputation, but also hurting the businesses of her neighbors and local tour guides. In a tight-knit community that depends on tourism, even a single allegation can have ripple effects.
My neighbor called and said that he's getting calls from people that want to come and camp at his place, and they're afraid to come because she's making it sound like I have a pack of wild dogs that are trained to kill. That's what she said on the one of the social media what they sent me. And that is not the case at all. I mean, a Rottweiler, what I had is a perimeter dog, and we have the tip of the peninsula. So he makes sure that nobody comes from the front by, coming into the place, and he barks if he sees anything.
Bailey's dog was also a service animal to her, as she often struggled to walk through her yard. She says that while she sympathizes with Slusher, her dog was not responsible for her injuries and should not have died as a result.
I have a Rottweiler who I had to have buried while I was gone, who was, my company and my security and also a service animal to me. And so it's a huge loss to me in that way. But it also, she was driving reckless down the street right through the gate and, then was slandering me all over the internet and put me on the news as that I don't care and act as though I have trained vicious dogs that are roaming the village looking for people to kill. And I love Animal, and I feel badly that she was bite by the dog, but enough is enough. It wasn't even my dog, and I'm very sad about the loss of my pet.
While Nancy Bailey said she'd rather stay out of the spotlight, her son is ready to take action. He's looking to press charges against Crystal Slusher, not just for the destruction of property, but also the death of their family dog. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Up next, a father's love through football.
Belize is blessed with incredible beauty, from our lush rainforests to our crystal clear seas. But this beauty is under threat. Plastic pollution is choking our oceans, harming our wildlife, and putting our communities at risk. This World Environment Day, let's stand together to beat plastic pollution. Say no to single-use plastics. Choose sustainable options. Support businesses that care. Together, we can keep Belize clean, green, and plastic-free. Let's do this for us and for the future.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
It's finally here. KTV The Remix Season 7 goes live. Come meet the new cast of challengers ready to shake up the stage and remix the culture. From raw local power to lyrical fire, from classical hits to bold new sounds. This is where Belize's next star is born. The place to be? The Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Get your tickets today for only $5 at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive and 88 Shopping Center. KTV The Remix Season 7, Tuesday, July 8th at 8 p.m. See you there.
Publix to celebrate 27 years of serving Belizean families. Get 10% off over 1,000 items, dairy, meats, and everyday essentials. June 6 to 15, come celebrate and save. Publix Dafui Supermarket.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family, as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Caraza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
This month, we're shining a well-deserved spotlight on some truly remarkable men, fathers who lead with love, strength, and quiet inspiration. To kick off our special feature on outstanding dads across the country, we're taking you back to a story that still tugs at the heartstrings. It's a bright side moment featuring a familiar face from the world of sports, someone we not only admire on the field, but also celebrate as an exceptional father. Sabrina sat down with him to talk about the real heart of fatherhood, the joy, the lessons, and the legacy. Here's that story.
Ian "Yellow" Guinaire takes over the field whenever a ball touches the pitch. The moment the well-known football player became a dad, however, his kids took over his heart.
I became a dad like 13 years ago, and I don't think that I'm really ready for it at the time. I'm a kid, but I never think that I was ready for, you know, for be a father and for hold all the responsibilities by my own. But with time, you know, everything work out and you start look for life different.
They say daughters soften a father's heart, but it's the father and son bond that is uniquely different. Ian Guinaire shared with us that his son is his king.
Now I got my king, my son. I mean, some people look upon it like I only have one child, because my son is everywhere. Everywhere I go, he goes. As long as he could go, you know, I take him everywhere. And football, he have a passion for it that I have nothing to do with that. I give my son the opportunity to make he decide what he wants, and you know, he loves football. So, I mean, I'm glad that they love football, where I could teach him a lot with all my experience.
Yellow believes his son has the potential to make it further than he did as an athlete. At 8 years old, Azir trains with the Belize national team, which his father is also a member. But the goal is to see his son play the sport they love at the highest level.
Who taught you to play football?
My dad.
What did he teach you?
To do skills and passing the ball.
And is your dad really special to you?
Yes, Mom.
How is he special?
He buys anything I want.
He buys anything that you want?
he have his own training, and when he's not training, he's with my team. And what I do is sometimes I would put him to train to do the same thing my team is doing, you know, and he and someone else would be on the side juggling the ball, passing the ball, but the same thing, if not with me. And when I come out, I can watch my son play, you know, everybody say, you done better here, pa. I'm proud of them kind of talking there, because I want my son, you know, be better than me. So every day I had behind him, because I want tomorrow, when he sign a big contract, I could say, he did it for we, you know.
The relationship between a father and son is critical in shaping a boy to a man, one Ian wished he experienced while growing up. In parenthood, he uses the absence of his father as a child as motivation to ensure that his son doesn't have that experience. Allowing a space for Azair to feel his emotions and speak about them is also important to him.
My mom had to raise me by own, you know, and I'm a wish I may have my dad around at an early stage for kind of nurture me and show me where this world really about, you know, and guide me, because, you know, at a very young age, when you learn the most things, you adapt to most things. So with my son, I never have a father around, and my son have me wrong. So because I never get the chance to have any emotions when I'm small, because my mama had to work 2 jobs, you know, so I had to battle it by my own, and I never had nobody to go to cry to like that, because I mean, like what you say, I had a boy, I had a man, I never want to go to my mom and they go lean on my mama's shoulder and cry to her and tell her my problems, which I still may end up have to do, but I would have rather do the father-son thing, you know, and I don't really not my path never did wrong, but I think I'm missing that when I'm small, and I will give my son everything I never have, like, especially with that.
Establishing a strong and healthy relationship with his son by doing the things he wanted to do with his own father helped Yellow with forgiveness.
Yeah, my son go to church. We do everything. We do things I never did when I was young, you know. So I try just do things out of the box and do things that I may always want in my time. It heal a whole lot, for real. It heal a whole lot, and we always, you know, go around my dad, and my dad even tell me he admire the way I deal with my son, because I know he explained to me why he never did wrong at the time, you know, and I forgive my pa, you know.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. Stay tuned as Noticiero 5 Semanal begins right now. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.